What's going on, guys? It's Mule here again. I am just going to do a quick video on making what I've heard it called as the donut, but in essence what it is, it's a redstone circuit. Super simple, way more simple than I thought it was. And effectively what it does is it allows you to do a two-lever actuation system to power whatever you want. You can power a piston with it for a door. You can power I guess you could power a standard door with it too if you wanted to open and close just like a standard iron door. But you can basically turn things on and off this way with two different switches. You could do a light. You could do a redstone lamp. But what I use it for specifically is powering a door, trying to get a door to open and close. So I've seen this explained pretty well a couple of times, but what I'm going to do is actually test two different methods of doing this donut. The first one I'm going to test is by putting the repeater down in the center hole of the donut here, and it's going to be facing away. We're going to have redstone torch on this corner, redstone torch on this corner, redstone torch in the middle. On the front, we're going to have a redstone torch on each of the corners facing away, and then we're going to connect it all with some redstone. Okay, and then what we have is lines that are coming to different levers. I suppose you could do it with buttons as well if you were so inclined. Excuse me, cow. So what we're going to do is we're going to place one lever here. We're going to place some more redstone. I'm going to try to do this as evenly as possible so that we have, in essence, the same signal going in and out. I have seen it to where you need another repeater in line, but we're going to try it this way first, and we're going to go from there. So we've got our two switch signals right there. Excuse me, that's the wrong thing. We're going to put another piece of redstone here, and currently we have an outgoing signal. If I flip the switch, we still have an outgoing signal. If I flip the switch again, we still have an outgoing signal. Okay, so to better represent this, let us put a piston in front of the redstone. Okay, so we have said piston. We have our redstone. I flip the lever, nothing occurs. I flip the lever. Okay, now we've got a basic that's open, closed, and we have nothing. So we have a problem because we're not interrupting signal with both levers, which can be really frustrating when you're trying to get the thing to close. So this one is not interrupting signal truly. So what we can do is we can take, let's move this over just a little bit further here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put a redstone torch at the front of it. And then we are going to take our piston. We're going to set it there. Now, we have a closed piston. Now we have an open piston. If I come over here, it's going to shut it back down. Then I can shut it from here, and I can open it back up. So essentially, this system here, very simple, allows us to enter and exit by inverting the redstone torch signal right here. And apparently zombies and skeletons would like to meet their death this evening. So we'll just take care of them momentarily. And what we might do is come back in the morning. Okay, so we're back. Everything's still here. Nobody stole it in the middle of the night. Perfect. So, one of the things that we can do is test different ways to do this. So, the way I built my door setup, I had a little bit of a trouble getting my signal in the right place. So, say for instance, the position of the door actually needs to be elevated. Up around here. Well, there we go. Say we need to actuate the piston, and this is where we're building this underground or in a vault or something like that. How, pray tell, do we get it up to here? So I could eliminate this piece of redstone. I could place a block here, and I could place a torch here, and then I could place a block underneath like so. Okay, but are we going to get the appropriate signal? Okay, there's one. There's another. Looky there. We have the appropriate signal. What if we take this line out? Now we have no connection because we've broken it. So nothing is happening. So if we connect the redstone, are we able to interrupt the signal now? We have a closed door. We have an open door. Go through the door. Aha! Now it is unable to do that. I found this problem when I was building my setup, and it changed. So I'm not 100% sure on this. But what I do know is that this created a problem for me. So what I had to do was the alternate build, where this repeater is no longer here, but it's here. And it's here. And then I have redstone in the middle. Now, why this behaves the way it does, I'm not sure. But now we can open and we can close. We can open and we can close. So again, this was a difficult little build that I had to deal with here. And simply by changing the mechanics of where these repeaters are allowed me to do it this way. Now, if I take our line back out right here, I've got that powered torch there. If I put another brick here, and if I put my torch on the front here, let's see, does this double repeater system work? That is a closed door. I come over here. That is an open door. I can close it from this side, and I can open it from this side. So it does work, but if you notice, this setup right here allows for easier operation of inverting redstone torch signals. So if you need to make like a redstone torch step, say you wanted to add another piston on top of this one because you wanted a double piston setup, and we need to carry the signal all the way through. Oops, that would definitely be the wrong way. It helps when you're on the right side. Oh, shucks. Don't mind me. Just wasting time. Here we go. So we've got a double piston set up, and we're going to need a way to get that signal to go all the way through. Okay. Well, what happens if we put a torch right here? That's going to be open. Is it going to invert? It is. So we've got our signal totally inverting through the stones. But we don't need that to take place, right? We need our stones to act together. And presently, they are unable to do so. I love how I'm just making an absolute mess of this. So, how do we fix this problem? Well, I'm going to interrupt our system again. I've got interruption there. Okay. I'm going to remove this stone. I'm going to place it here. I'm going to make our redstone turn. We're going to go up the block. Actually, we're going to come out, because redstone doesn't like to go into a block a certain way. Now we have a signal. Can we? Aha. We can. So, I tried this the other way, and just to prove it, I will take these repeaters out again. That repeater is out. That repeater is out. We'll put redstone here. We'll put redstone here. Now, will my system act? No, it will not. For whatever reason, it will only work when these are a certain direction. So there is something very specific, and there's some indication here. So currently I have an open door. This torch on the back right here is illuminated. The caddy corner torch is illuminated. If I flip my lever, this torch is illuminated. Repeater is not. But I've got two signals making a loop here. Inverting this signal, coming around, tying to this, which then sends a signal, a negative signal this way, or a, however you want to call it. If you want to think about it in pluses and minuses, we have a minus signal here, which inverts this because of the way it goes into the block, and turns this into a positive signal, which actuates our door. So we have positive signal on, we have negative signal off, back into an inverted positive signal, because this inverts the signal coming out because of the way it comes out. We have positive signal coming back to here, and then this is an inversion point. So I don't fully understand this. I'm sure that there are brains out there that are far, far, far smarter than mine. And I know so because I've seen them. But this system is a lot harder to deal with. I know that this is certainly a system that's useful in its own right, because I can create, in essence, a system that cuts the system. It cuts power to your system. So I can flip this lever all day long, and this has become a dead system now. I find it fascinating. I don't know what the uses of all of the great brains of Minecraft are going to come up with when it comes to this, but for the sake of doing a two-way door, if you have any measure of complexity, I'm going to change it back to my double repeater setup. And I am able to very simply open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open. So this seems to be the most efficient, maybe not efficient, but the simplest way to actuate the double piston door. Please leave in the comments. Please let me know what I'm doing wrong. If you have a better way to do this, if this is something that you can explain more clearly, please educate me. Educate others in the comment section so that we can learn together. But I was pretty excited to find this out. The one thing that helps me remember is plus and minus. Open and close is kind of, you know, very specific when it comes to the door. But when I think about the signal strength coming in, I have a plus signal coming in right here, and I've got a minus signal coming in here. But on the back side here, this is where the magic happens. This is where the inversions are occurring. And when you invert the signal, that's when you're able to open and close and make redstone torches do all kinds of fun magical things. Hope this was helpful. Hopefully I didn't make it any more confusing than it was before, but to see it laid out this way kind of helps me. So the donut, torch, torch, redstone, torch, repeater, repeater, torch on the front, torch on the front. You can connect these with multiple pieces of redstone if you want. You can like bring this out here, and you can place this like that if you're so inclined. But I don't think it matters as much unless you have too many pieces of redstone. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our signal's pretty weak there. Might have just found a new thing. Nope, still works just fine. Okay, so we have the signal strength. Wow, it's like nighttime and mobs are trying to hurt me. It's a good thing we know how to survive. Alright guys, well, that'll be it for me. I'm going to sign off before I get myself killed, even though I could respawn and come collect all my stuff because I'm right outside my house. However, it's been fun. Take care, guys.